times I go back and play that game, I still get chills up my spine.
Yeah.
Okay, I might not get chills up my spine, but this game definitely kept me on my toes when I used to play it at night. Now, given the fact that this game was released in 2005, it still looks amazing in some areas, while other parts of the game, not so much. It really shows its age during a few cutscenes that the game
I
has.
did not snap.
But
Someone else
besides that,
killed those-
because it was a launch title for the 360, I feel Condemned didn't get all the credit that it deserved. And there aren't many horror games for the Xbox 360 that match this level of intensity that Condemned has to offer. This game, in my opinion, just stands out from the rest.
It's going as well as it can.
Now, in Condemned, you play as Ethan Thomas, who is a crime scene investigator. And very early on in the game, Ethan is framed for killing a cop. And on top of that,
Coincidence?
Ethan's road to proving his innocence is even further complicated by a serial killer who is killing the serial killers that Ethan is looking for. So you can definitely expect a sick and sadistic storyline to just be played out throughout the whole game. Now, one cool thing about this game is the fact that it's not heavily littered with first-person mechanics, even though it is a first-person game. You do use firearms here and there, but I believe Monolith Productions' intent was to just put you front and center of the action and then just let you face the horror head-on. So what separates this from all other FPSs is the fact that you have forensic tools when investigating a murder scene, as opposed to having tools like stun grenades or throwing knives or any of that stuff. Ethan is linked to his coworker Rosa through his cell phone, in which she submits work for him and runs tests, things like blood analysis, fingerprints, fluids, flesh wounds. All those things are just examples as to what you'll be coming across when you investigate a murder scene. And the process is just pretty much scan evidence, put some clues together, scan some more, solve a mini puzzle, and then just continue playing the game. Now, I thought that in a game like this, a survival horror game, that the forensics investigation part would outshine anything else that the game has to offer, because there aren't many 2D games recently, well actually in 2005, that have had a forensics twist to it, but that really wasn't the case. The combat is the real bread and butter for Condemned, and it's the combat that sets this game apart from any other game. Now, it's encounters like this that make this game that much crazy. It's the battles that you come across are pretty intense. Now, almost anything can be used as a weapon, but as all things in video game life, they don't last forever. You could use a 2x4, but if you use it long enough, eventually it'll just break into pieces from, you know, wear and tear. If you pick up a piece of concrete rebar to block all the incoming attacks, it'll eventually just break and you'll be left defenseless. The combat is tricky, but after a few retries and F-bombs out of your system, you'll eventually grab a hold of the fighting mechanics. And the thing about this game is that the enemy AI, the Monolith does a really good job with it, because when you're fighting, a lot of the times they'll purposely psych you out and pump fake and, you know, just jerk and act like they're gonna hit you when really they're not, and they just want to make you slip up, which leaves you vulnerable, and that's when they'll actually destroy you. And a lot of times, you know, I couldn't see some attacks coming, but it's things like that that make Condemned what it is when it comes to combat. And if you played other games, you know, you retry a bunch of times, you eventually come back to the spot that you're dying at, and you see the pattern that's going on, and you could, you know, kind of counteract and just parry stuff that you know that's coming. But if you apply those type of mechanics to Condemned, it's really not going to work. You'll be unsuccessful really when trying to figure out what they're going to throw at you next. So that's what really keeps the combat, you know, that pumped up. It's really good. Overall, the atmosphere, the lighting, sound effects, the combat, all of it just adds an amazing heart-pounding experience to Condemned. And it just makes it an instant classic. I instantly loved this game when I played it. And I was going to review Bloodshot 2, the sequel, but I chose not to, just because I thought this one was the original and this is where it all started. So you know, if you guys want to check this game out, just buy it, because it's pretty much dirt cheap. I originally bought it for 2000. I bought it in 2005 for about $60, and recently found it for about $5. So you really can't go wrong if you wanted to pick this game up. But yeah, Monolith Productions, SEGA published it, and it's a really good game. So if you guys want to get scared and put your pants a little bit, just go ahead and pick this game up. So yeah, that's all I got to say. Thanks for watching, guys.